right, y'all, I'm back, and I hope that you got your pen and paper ready because I'm going to have more activities for y'all to do during session 3 on how can I create or build a full-time creative career. How can you become a full-time creative? Well, let's dive into session 3, which is it ain't all glamour, y'all, but it is worth it, and I'm going to tell you how. So, let's get real about what it takes to be a creative, and how to make it your full-time job. And I put job in quotation marks because things that you love really don't feel like work. Now, you probably seen the glamorous side of being a writer, an entrepreneur, or even a creator. The book deals, the interviews, the recognition, and I, for one, I've experienced that. Like, I've gone super viral several times on the Shade Room. Not for my books, though, y'all, just for me talking smack online. Like, I just be saying stuff and it would just go viral. I've also gotten a book deal without an agent. And so my book, The Ultimate No No, y'all go check that out on Amazon, was all over the world, gaining readers everywhere that you can think of. And the recognition was pretty interesting because I used to sometimes just go to the store and people would ask me, "Hey, are you Tamika Newhouse?" So yeah, I had to kind of get used to that. But let me tell you, so there's so much more to it though. Like it's a lot behind the scenes. And so I'm going to talk about a little bit about the struggles, the sacrifices, and the grind that comes from turning your passion into a sustainable career. But trust me when I say that it really is worth it, y'all. It really is worth it. And the biggest thing about it is I don't really have to get up unless I want to. Now, I got to, but I get up when I want to. I don't have to clock in for anybody. No one is controlling my time. I can do what I want every day, and then I can hop on a plane and I can work from anywhere in the world. It's a very beautiful experience and thing to kind of be a part. And I did it, y'all. I did it myself. So I want to kind of share that with you. So bear with me. The struggles and sacrifices that you take, honestly, is going to be a lot of financial struggles. It's going to be some mental health challenges and maybe some sleepless nights. So, but first, let's be clear. Something that isn't an easy road. Like when I first started out, I didn't have a blueprint. I didn't have a steady paycheck for this particular dream. I just had a dream and I had a lot of grit. I had a lot of passion. I was very, very anxious and excited, and I was putting myself on tour. Like I was, giving myself, signing myself up for interviews. I was figuring out what opportunities I can tap into. But the truth is, y'all, it's not going from 0 to 100 overnight. It's really not. I know a lot of people like to talk about that, but sometimes it takes one night after 10 years for everything to just shift and change. So let's not think about the red carpet, the recognition, or success, but that's only really like a small, tiny fraction of the story. And what they don't tell you is about the late nights, the sleepless weeks, and the financial struggles that come along with this. Now, there were times when I couldn't even afford to pay basic business expenses. No lie, y'all. I used to figure out a way to get Peter to pay me so I could pay Paul. And let alone, treat myself to a night out like that sometimes was not possible either. And that took a mental strain. And I talk about a lot of this on my memoir podcast, Traces of Mika. Because I also, I was doing this as a single mom. And I didn't receive financial help when I was taking care of my children when they were very young. I had to do everything on my own. It was a lot. And so the weight of feeling constantly behind or worrying about the next project or if I'm doing the right thing, like I was juggling multiple ideas and things that I wanted to meet, and it kind of took a toll. But here's the thing, like it's really part of the grind. It's really a part of the process because you got to really figure out what it is that you want to do and if it's worth it. Now, the key to success, and I've always said this, but the key to success, one of the main keys, if not the key, is consistency. You gotta be consistent at this. Like, if you're willing to get up and try it again and try it again until you get it right, even after you've been knocked down, people say no, they don't like it. Like, that resilience is going to get you so much further than someone that is, trying to just quickly get a bang for their buck. The grind isn't always glamorous, but your willingness to keep going despite the hard times is what separates the dreamers from the doers. So I always say dream out loud, because dreaming out loud is actively dreaming. Like you're the things that were in your mind that you dreamed about and that you thought about, now you can open your eyes and see it. So it's out loud, it's in front of you. So trust me, the struggle can be real, but it's part of the process. And if you want to make your dream your full time reality, you've got to be committed to pushing through the hard moments. You got to be willing to push through adversity. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to sometimes not go on that vacation or go out to eat, to really invest in the things that you want to do. Now, building financial literacy is super important. So you got to manage your finances as a creative. And I wasn't always that great at that. I would just be paying stuff and not really knowing why I was paying it or if it was working. Like I would just be doing stuff and not really studying my actions. So let's talk about that as a creative. So we overlook this part when it comes to the money aspect. We're all about creating and doing what we love, but we've got to keep our financial house in order. Like as a creative entrepreneur, you are the CEO of your brand. Do you know what that means? That means that you got to be responsible for your finances. When I first started out, I didn't know a thing about taxes, budgeting, or how to save for those slim months, the months where ain't nothing coming in. Because some months you may have a huge overflow, and some months nothing coming in. So I had to really learn the hard way. So let me save you the headache and let me teach you a few things. First, you need to budget like you mean it. It's not just about making money, it's about knowing where that money is going. So set aside a portion of the business expenses. Put aside for your taxes, because trust me, Uncle Sam will come knocking. They don't want nobody to earn without them getting a cut. And don't forget to save for those slim months when nothing is coming in. When I got into the business side of things, I learned that I had to track my expenses. And I had to get uncomfortable with that process so I can get comfortable with numbers. And even if you are not a numbers person, you better become one. It's about accounting a little bit, and if that is your weakness, then you need to watch some YouTube videos and learn how to, accounting 101. Take a little college course, go to a workshop. The information is at our fingertips. So don't hesitate to hire a professional. That's okay too. They can manage your finances, but if you're trying to save money, like why pay somebody to help you save money? I don't get it. I wouldn't do that. Not just yet. But financial literacy is very crucial because it allows you to make smarter decisions and where your money is going and how to secure a stable future as a creativepreneur. So that's very, very important, y'all. We got to know where our money is going, where it's coming from, and so that way you can keep doing the things that are right. Now, self-care and burnout prevention. I want to jump into this now. How to avoid burnout while staying consistent with your craft. Let's talk about it. Now, as a creative, we pour a lot of ourselves into our work, and it's easy to push ourselves too hard, especially when you're juggling multiple projects. But here's the deal. If you don't take care of yourself, you won't have anything left to give. Burnout is real, y'all. And sometimes it can get super real. I've experienced it personally, like to the point where I found myself in a hospital at one point. And again, y'all, I talk about this on my memoir podcast, Traces of Mika. I cannot express how much that y'all probably should tap into Traces of Mika. You got to learn from my mistakes. And I put it out there, y'all, for y'all to really grasp and understand. Let me not do that. But there were times when I felt like I really couldn't keep up. And honestly, I was running on fumes. One of the best things I did for myself, though, was begin to start setting boundaries. I started to learn how to say no, because I was saying yes to a lot of people. I was being stretched too thin, and I really I had to learn how to prioritize my mental health without feeling guilty about it, because people will really make you feel bad about caring about you first. That's weird energy. But self-care really isn't selfish. It's necessary. Let me say that again. Self-care isn't selfish. It is necessary. Whether that's taking off time, practicing mindfulness, simply resting, like you've got to recharge, y'all. You got to stay creative also, and to avoid mental burnouts that comes with constantly taking breaks. To avoid burnout, that means constantly taking breaks. So I'm speaking about staying consistent, but it really is about pacing yourself. Like, we're not a robot. You don't have to be working 24/7 to be successful. That, first of all, that doesn't work. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is just take a step back, give yourself some grace, and come back to work on it when you're refreshed and you're ready to give it your all. But consistency doesn't mean you're hustling nonstop. It just means being intentional with your energy and creating with purpose. And again, as we discussed in session 2, having a really good schedule. And I talk about how to create a schedule, and I even got some templates for y'all in my Patreon. So make sure you go to patreon.com/TracyTamika and dive into that. So at the end of the day, the road to becoming a full-time creator is not glamorous. It's really not. But I promise you, it really is worth it, because once you put in the work, now it's smooth sailing, and you only get to go and climb from there. Just imagine you want to live in a mansion, but you have to build it brick by brick. Building that mansion is hard. Like, your back hurt, you're tired, you want to eat, you want to rest. But when that house is built, now you get to enjoy it. You can soak in that big tub. You can roam the big halls and your beautiful big kitchen. You can bask in it, and now you have it forever. So just think about y'all. Think about what's really most important for y'all, creating a really good, safe balance. And everybody's home life is different. So you really got to think about priorities, who's wasting your time, who's hindering your journeys, and really kind of create some really good, healthy boundaries and begin to separate. And separation does take time too, y'all. All right, y'all. Activity time. So, real talk reflections. This is what I want you to do. I want you to write down your fears, your anxieties about being a full-time creative. And I want you to then also think about why that, makes you afraid. Why are you fearful for that? Or why is that a hindrance? And then I want you to identify steps that you can take to start working on changing that. And granted, if you don't know how to do that on your own, you can tap into my Patreon. I do one-on-one mentor sessions, because nobody's journey is the same. And all I can do is offer you blueprints to help you identify your step. But if you need a little boost, if you need a little help, go into my Patreon. That's patreon.com/TracyTamika, and sign up for that one-on-one mentor session, and we'll get you started. We'll get started, and we'll do what we got to do, because I'm rooting for you. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in session 4. System is key. System is almost like organization. To be honest, it is organization. So you have to create a system. You want to get organized. That way you can focus on your craft.